Um, it's not easy. It is not easy at all. Like, my first year is not going anything like I expected it to. Hello everybody, it's Sabriyyah Iman and I am back with another video. Okay, I want to really quickly, I want to wish you all a happy new year. Okay, right now I'm recording it, it's December 31st, and I just wanted to have something up for New Year, to start this new year off. But yeah, so make sure if you are new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, if you're not new here, welcome back. I know I haven't made a video in a long time. Okay, and I'm going to explain why in this video. I'm going to be letting you all know my first semester experience as a first year teacher, as well as with grad school. And yeah, so if you're new here, I'll just give you all a little information. So I am a first year teacher in Florida, and I teach second grade virtually. I teach second grade virtually. I started off the school year as a first grade teacher. I was hired to teach first grade. And when the school year started, I started teaching in person. And then like a week and a half later, I found out I was getting moved to first grade virtual. And so some time had passed, a few weeks had done passed, and then my principal talked to me and let me know that I needed to get moved to 5th grade. But I didn't want to go to 5th grade. You know, sometimes you don't really have a choice. And so I was talking to another teacher in my school. She teaches virtually as well, and she had talked to another teacher and told her about how I was going to 5th grade, and the other teacher volunteered to go to 5th grade. And y'all, I was so happy because I did not want to be like in a upper grade. Like that's really not where my heart is. You know, my heart is to teach children, but not the higher grades or not the upgrades. I just don't like all the pressure. Okay, that makes sense. But the teacher she told was a second grade teacher, and so the second grade teacher volunteered to go to 5th grade instead. And so that meant, well, they talked to the principal and asked her if that was okay. She said it was fine. So I ended up going to 2nd grade. I got her class and went to 2nd grade, and she was teaching virtually. So I'm teaching 2nd grade virtually now. And y'all, it's not easy. It is not easy at all. Like, my first year is not going anything like I expected it to. It's not. You know, if you watched my previous videos, you all know I was so excited. I was going shopping and all this stuff for my classroom, even though I was broke. Okay, and it was like a slap in the face to get moved to virtual. So let me tell you all how things work in my county or my district. So at the beginning of the year, they asked parents like if they wanted their child to attend brick and mortar or attend virtual. And so if they chose brick and mortar, they came to the school. If they chose virtual, they were learning online through Duval Homeroom. Excuse me. And you know, every 9 weeks, at the end of the 9 weeks, they would ask, okay, do you plan on keeping your child virtual, or do you plan on bringing them back to brick and mortar? And so the reason that there's so many changes is because like, even though after the deadline, parents still decide after the fact that they want their child to come back. And so that messes with the numbers that they collected. They tried to collect data so they could prepare for the students coming back to the building. And so, you know, some parents decide like in the middle of the 9 weeks that they want their child to come back. So that meant that like if a class size got too big, that means that teacher had to, another teacher had to come teach in person. And so, like, I think I told you all this before, but my school is really small. Well, it's not really small, but it's small. And so there's only 2 teachers per grade level, basically. And with, so one of those teachers is teaching brick and mortar, and the other teacher is teaching online. We do our homeroom. And so, for this upcoming 9 weeks, none of my students said they were coming back to the building. However, come a pause. If their parent decides that they want their child back, that means they'll be going to the in-person 2nd grade class. And if that class size gets too big, I may be able to teach 2nd grade in person, which I would not mind. I would actually love it because I student taught in 2nd grade, so I'm very comfortable with it. And then in 1st grade, if more students from 1st grade virtual comes back to school, that means they're gonna need another 1st grade teacher, and I would really love to go back to 1st grade because those are my babies. Like, they are my babies. I had them at the beginning of the year, and then if I didn't have them in the classroom, I had them online. So most of the 1st graders know me already. So I would not mind going back to 1st grade. And something else that happened, I'm not sure if I talked about this in my last video, but I am teaching students from 2 different schools. So I'm teaching students from my home school where I got hired at, and I'm teaching 2nd graders at another school all the way on the other side of town. And so when I first found that out, I was horrified because I was like, oh my gosh, how is this gonna work? Like, I did not know how that was gonna work. I was so scared. But it's not bad. It's really not bad at all. The fact that they're virtual, I mean, they're basically all in the same situation, I guess. So it wasn't that bad. It's just I have to flip through and go through both schools to put in information and stuff like that. But it's not too bad. The kids, they are so sweet. Like, I really love my babies. And it really had adding them. So I gained 7 students six. Yeah, I had 7, but one of them went back, so 6. So I have 6 from this other school, and then I have 10 from my home school. And so that brings me to 16 students online. And they're not bad. Like, the students I got from the other school, they were actually higher than the students I already had. And so I'll explain that. So at the beginning of the year, all of the students took the iReady diagnostic exam or test or whatever. And a lot of my students from my home school, a lot of them are below grade level, like kindergarten level. Note that I'm teaching 2nd grade. And so that is something in itself. Like, when I tell you all, like, some days I'm just like, I really don't know what I'm doing. I don't. And then plus with all the changes, like my reading coach, she was like, don't even worry about this year, because as much as you moved around, no, this is not how 1st year is supposed to go. So y'all, it's just not. But my students from my home school, they are like, a lot of them are on kindergarten level. I have some on 1st grade, which is okay, and then I have maybe like 1 that's almost on 2nd grade level. Okay, and so what I found was that it's very hard to, first of all, teach younger children virtually, because a lot of the time is spent on technical stuff or trying to guide them on where to go and stuff. And I try to stay consistent. I basically use the same thing all the time. Like, we use Microsoft Teams, and so I use the class notebook, and whatever we're reading that week or whatever the lesson is, I put it in the class notebook and upload it to all of their class notebooks. And so I don't know why, but it's like a struggle every day, almost every day. And so a lot of my instructional time goes to that. And then I really feel like a lot of them, they need to be in person. Like, I know that's wrong because we're in the middle of a pandemic. I know we are in the middle of a pandemic, and one thing I just don't understand is how they expect things to be the same. Like, first of all, some of these children, a lot of children, when they're at home, first of all, their environment is not conducive to learning. Like, it's hard. Like, for some of my students, they can barely hear me. Like, I'm trying to explain things to them, and they're like, can you say that again? I didn't hear you. And I just have to keep repeating. So it's like I'm always repeating things, and then if I'm repeating things, it's like they basically can't hear. So I read things to them. So, you know, they're on kindergarten level. I read basically everything to them. And, you know, when they do their lesson checks at the end of the week or at the end of the lesson, it doesn't look good, and it really makes me feel bad. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, okay, we are in the middle of a pandemic. They are not. Virtual learning is only okay if students are able to do it. A lot of students or a lot of children, I feel like, are not able to do virtual learning. Like, you could really try your hardest, but for some students, I just feel like, I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's very difficult, being that they are babies, basically, like first grade. You have college students that don't even like online classes because they're not disciplined enough to do it. If you're doing that if that's college students, imagine little children. Like, this is not sitting right with me at all. And I saw a post on Instagram that was like, don't shame teachers because this is not what they signed up for, virtual learning. And let me tell you, virtual learning is not what I signed up for. You know, I'm doing it because, you know, they need a teacher. But at the same time, I just don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I don't love my babies. I love them with all my heart. But I really love the in-person better. You know, they want us to be at school. Like, if we don't have any underlying health issues, they want us to be at school to feel connected. But I'm sitting in an empty classroom every day. That's not what I expected. Like, if I'm gonna do virtual, I might as well do it at home. I'll be more comfortable. If I'm just in the classroom, sitting in my classroom, I have all the desks in front of me. I have all of my students' desks, but no students. And it's just, I just don't like it. So that's my spiel on teaching virtually, you know. And if you could give me some tips, please do, because, okay, this is my situation. I'm teaching second grade, but a lot of my students are kindergarten level, you know. And some of them, they're still not getting rhyming words. That's how bad it is. They're still not getting rhyming words. So if you have any information, input that you would like to share with me to help me, because I feel overwhelmed. And my students, all the students, when they come back, they are taking the mid-year diagnostic. So we're gonna see if they have any growth from August to January. Yeah, but if you can give me any tips or anything, please let me know, because I'm just swamped, and I'm not burnt out, but I'm swamped. Like, I really don't know at this point. I don't. But that's all I'm gonna say. If you want more information or want me to talk about more things, you can let me know down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to share more information with you all. But that's how things are going right now. This is how my first year is going. And then let me tell you all about grad school. So I started grad school fall semester, and y'all, when I tell y'all, when class is over, I was so happy. Like, I passed all of my classes. I made all A's. So I took 3 classes this semester, or this past semester, made all A's. But it wasn't easy. Like, one of my classes, it was like it was called Teaching All Children. It was basically like differentiated instruction. That was a lot. My storytelling class, it wasn't really that bad. It was just my final. It was a author study, and my professor said I actually did good on it. He wants me to publish it, so I might think about doing that. And then my other class was foundations for multicultural education, something like that. And it was just basically writing a lot of papers, like just reading the chapters and writing papers, basically, or critical writings. But yeah, so it was it was not easy juggling my first year teaching, doing all of that, plus my grad school classes. One tip I will give you all, if you are new, I would say use a planner. Okay, so whenever at the end of the year, I always buy a planner for the upcoming year. And this was my planner that I used for 2020. I got it from I think I got it from TJ Maxx, and I just love this planner. Look at how beautiful it is. Oh my gosh. But yes, I used the planner, and I could show you all just how much work. Like, for me, I have to, what you should do, or what I did was, I would look at all my assignments that I had due that week, and then I would write them out I would write down on those days of that week. I would write down what assignment I was gonna do that day, and I would really try to get that assignment done. And if I didn't, I would try to get it done the next day. But let me tell you how it works with these three classes I took. So for my multicultural education class, her assignments was mostly due on Mondays. So really, I had to complete that on Sunday. For my Teaching All Children class, or my differentiated instruction class, most of my assignments were due on Thursday, because that's what time we met virtually. So that was that was a remote class. It wasn't a distance learning class. It was a remote class. So usually we would be in person for that class, and so instead of being in person, we met virtually on Zoom. And so most of those assignments were due on Thursday, and then for my storytelling class, those assignments were due on Friday. So for the majority of the week, I would spend most of my time trying to get my differentiated instruction class work done, because we would have like a case study, then we'll have to, like an assignment or a project where we would make different things like choice boards, or what else, task cards, things like that. So I spent the majority of the week doing that, and then on Fridays, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, on Fridays, that's when I would get my storytelling class assignment done. Because most of the time, it'll be like an easy assignment. Sometimes I would have to spend like maybe a few days on it, but most of the time, I really did the assignment on Friday, the day of, and so don't do that. But let me just show you all. So like, I used my planner. Like, I really used it. I really used it. Okay. You know, you kind of see, like, I wrote like on the same days, and this really helped me stay organized and stay focused, because y'all, it was a lot. So what I would recommend, if you are new to it, I would recommend getting a planner so you can write down your assignments. Okay. And then I would spend like my Sundays doing my lesson plans. So yes, it was a lot. I was so exhausted. Like, sometimes I would stay up late or get up really early. It just depended on how I felt. But yes, that's how I did things. Well, let me talk about my first year. So during your first year, it is so different. Like, if you are a student teacher right now, things are gonna be so much different when you become a real teacher. Because when you become a real teacher, you have to do everything. It's not like you just write your lesson plans anymore. You are doing everything. So you gotta do PMPs. You have to do your well, in my district it's called IPDIPI, your individual development, professional development plan. And with the PMPs, that's your progress monitoring plan. And that's really, I'm really struggling with that as well, because I don't know. Like, basically you working with a group of students trying to improve certain areas, and it's just really hard for me because, you know, a lot of my students, I'm not gonna speak specifically, but some of my students, their attendance is not perfect, so they're not always logging on. And you know, with progress monitoring plans, you have to monitor their progress. So that means you give like a little test at the end of the week to see how much they improved or how much they know now. And it's just really hard when they're missing days of school, and you know, they're missing instruction. It's just, I don't know. But yeah, it's a lot being a first year teacher in the midst of all this that's going on. I really don't. It's a lot. And I'm ready for it to be over. Like, I'm ready for this pandemic to be over. Like, I'm not even going to get into how I feel about this government, because you know what? I'm not, because it's just a mess. Like, everyone knows how messed up this government is. Like, yeah, I wanted to share these things with you all because I haven't been here in a minute, in a long time. So try to be on the lookout. I'm gonna try to be more consistent. I'm gonna try, because you know what, I'm taking classes. I need to finish registering for classes before the deadline for this semester, and I also need to well, let me tell you all. So I volunteered, despite me having all of these things on my plate. I volunteered to tutor after school. So starting this month, January, I will be tutoring after school for 1 hour. I'll be tutoring, I think, either 3rd, 4th, or 5th grader or ERS, because, you know, they're testing, and so I guess they want the students to be more prepared. So yes, I'm gonna be tutoring, and then y'all, it's just I have a lot on my plate. And then as far as my finances, let me tell y'all about my finances really quickly. So being a teacher, you know, starting off, you're not gonna make much. I'm just gonna let you all know that right now. And if you have big goals that you're trying to accomplish, i.e. saving for something like a house or a car. If you're not living with your parents or a friend or your boyfriend or somebody, things are gonna be really hard, because it's, yeah. Alright, I'm not gonna put anything out yet, because I like to keep my moves on the down low, you know, and I don't like to announce things before it happens. So I'm just gonna wait. But yeah, so I'm in the process of saving up, and you know, I have money saved. It's just after I pay my bills and after I set aside that money for my savings, I don't really have much left, and so it's kind of hard to do a lot of the things that I want to do, you know. I don't really have that many luxuries. I mean, I just bought a new car. Or, no, I just got a new car not too long ago, like in September. And so, adding that bill and my insurance is just, oh my God, it's crazy. So, what I'm thinking about doing is picking up some side hustles, like DoorDash. I used to do DoorDash, and I kind of made some good money. And so, I think I'm going to start back doing that on top of everything I have to do to supplement my income because, you know, teachers don't make much. I know, but for Florida, they just signed a bill upping the minimum teacher salary. So, especially for new teachers, if you come to Florida, I think starting next school year, you'll be making like 40-something thousand. I think 44,000 or 45,000, something around that. Okay, they're upping the teacher salary, and that's way better than this. I mean, I might as well tell you. You can look it up. Look up teacher salaries. But starting teacher salary for my district is 39,000 or 39,500. So if you do the math, that's not much. Okay, and I'm not even factoring in my student loans to my bills yet. So but yeah, so I'm gonna try to be more consistent. You know, I just keep in mind that I have a lot going on, and it's just really hard for me to record and do all of this stuff. It's hard for me. I know some people are able to do it, but not I. Like, I'm not even consistent on my teacher Instagram. You know, I get on my other social medias, but as far as my teacher, I only have a teacher Instagram. Like, I don't have it. And listen, y'all, somebody tried to make a fake page. Like, a fake page of me. And I'm like, who would do that? Like, what? I don't talk to anybody enough for, I don't know who would try to do that, but that was so weird. But yeah, so my Instagram is like the only teacher social media I have, and I'm barely on it. I'm gonna try to be more consistent with that because I know that it's important to network and connect with other educators because, you know, a lot of teachers, they have a lot of knowledge that, you know, teachers like me, first year teachers or beginning teachers will find so valuable. So I need to start connecting more because, yeah, things are getting kind of tough. But yeah, I'm gonna try to keep you all updated on things. I hope everyone has a happy new year, happy safe new year. And if you are here watching my video, you are extremely blessed because a lot of people did not make it through 2020, especially a lot of educators, and it's really sad. But the fact that you are here watching my video, you are super blessed, and I'm so glad that you are here. All right, thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk with you all soon. Maybe I will do a day in the life of a teacher. You know, I wanted to get around to that, but I never did. So I'm gonna try to get to that soon. All right, thank you all so much for watching. I love you all. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my teacher Instagram. And I'll have it down in the link or down in the description box. All right, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.